biggest challenge that we have with most clients is we talk too much about us. And nobody cares about us. Who do they care about? Themselves. So if people care about themselves, we need to also care about them. If you care about someone, though, and they believe you don't, then you really don't. Because to the client, their perception is reality. So every step of our process, every step of the sales process, every single thing that we have to do, we have to think, how can I do something different? And here's the big reason to do something different. As Miles said, we want to stand out. I'm talking about doing things a little bit different. Patrick talked about creating a culture. Gary talked about really caring about customer loyalty. The number one reason we want to be different is survey after survey for the last 20 years or more, doctors and nurses and teachers are the most respected professions. Guess what the least respected profession is? It's not sales. Woohoo! It's politicians. Sales is number 2. So if doctors and nurses and teachers are at the highest of respect, and we want to look at all across the world, Mount Everest is the highest point. So that's where doctors, nurses, and teachers would be. Where's the lowest point on the planet? Well, actually, even lower than that. The Dead Sea is the lowest place on the land, but what's the lowest place on the earth? Marianas Trench, the bottom of the Marianas Trench. It's the lowest place on the planet. So anywhere around the bottom of the ocean is pretty low. Marianas is the lowest. What else is at the bottom of the ocean? Whale poop. That means politicians and salespeople smell like whale poop. In fact, many organizations, and when you walk up to the receptionist, she looks up and she says, "Are you a salesman?" Some companies even now require the receptionist to come around and put a stamp on your forehead that says liar. You see that we have to have a plan. And we've heard a lot. Paul talked a lot about having sales systems. I'm a huge fan of sales systems. As you're creating your sales system, I suggest there's 2 parts during the planning phase. The first one is at your location. So you've done some preparation now. You know you're selling from the heart. You've done some research on this client. You have a good feeling what might be a good product for them. You know some things that are going on, but you still don't know everything. There are some things that you're going to need to get from them face to face. So as you connect with them face to face, that's where it comes in at their location. So planning at your office is possible solutions to possible challenges they have. Depending on the conversations you've had, depending on the research you've done, you may have somewhat of a feel for what they need. Now you show up at their location. Many of you I've met through the presentation skills classes that I've taught for UBT and the sales negotiation classes that I taught. When I was teaching the presentation skills classes, I asked sales reps to bring in their laptops and show me the presentation. So if you were going out to a client, what's your laptop look like? Or some people still use presentation books and they have photos and different things like that, which is absolutely fine if it makes sense for your industry. Virtually every one of them, the first several pages were all about us, all about our building and when we started, and we're family owned, and they were blah, 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 blah. And basically what happens is we wee-wee all over our customers. Write this down. Stop wee-weeing on your customers. That's with one E each, though. We. Stop wee-weeing on your customers. We tell them all about us, and they don't care about us. I get pushback sometimes. Well, Guy, I have to build credibility. You're in their building. You have enough credibility to get to this step. The mass majority of the time, the first time you meet a client, can you sell them anything? No. You have to find out what their needs are. It may be a system, it may be engineered. You have to find out what their sales volume is going to be so you can put together a proposal. We can't sell them anything, so we have enough credibility to be here. The challenge is we talk and we talk and we talk and we talk. During the planning meeting, you're allowed to do one thing. Shut up and listen. Telling is not selling. Only asking questions and listening is selling. So if we'll really listen, because so few people are listened to. Most sales reps come in and they do just what everybody, here's us and here's what we do and here's what we are and here's how we can help you and you're idiots and so you really need us. And there's all kinds of implied insults in there and there's all kinds of things about us. And then we go away and we call back for a follow-up appointment. So I'd like to come over and show you this proposal. He's not in. His grandma died. Is he in today? No, his dog died. Is he in tomorrow? No, his grandma died again. How many of you have tried to follow up with somebody 3, 5? Don't raise your hands, please. We follow up over and over and over again. The problem is we wee-weed all over them. They don't want us to come back. They're afraid we'll wee-wee on them again. But if you've done a good job connecting, listening, selling from the heart,